Welcome to Fact You. Tonight's host, Karen Taylor.
Hello and welcome to Fact You. I'm Karen Taylor and mi casa, su casa, eh? Andiamo! Yeah. Joining me tonight are my guests to answer frequently asked questions. They are Ruth, Brat, Paul Foot, Iain Lee and Henning Wehn. Now, a new scheme run by a brothel in the German city of Dresden is giving a 20% discount to the unemployed. Brothel manager Sylvia Rao thinks it will bring back the customers and also provide them with some comfort in difficult times. It's a simple enough arrangement. Her clients come to her needing a job and she gives them a hand. But my frequently asked question is, how would you cheer up the jobless? Henning?
I wouldn't.
Straight to the point, I like it.
I would make them work for a change. So I would say...
I think they might want to. The jobless might want to.
Not the lazy fuckers, they don't. And there are one or two of them out there. I'm not right-wing Tory,
I mean, all those layabouts, yeah? I would cut them their Mercedes and I would cut them their mansion they get from the government.
Their mansion? Sorry. Mansion, right, sorry, go on.
Get yourself a dictionary. So, and...
Get yourself a voice coach.
And then, what happened then? So, all those layabouts, yeah, I would make them get up 6 o'clock in the morning, would chain them together. So, and if they are in a rural area, so I would send them to the forest to pick up the leaves from the floor. So, and if they're in an urban area, I would give them a broom to sweep the pavement.
Thank the Lord Jesus Christ we won that fucking war. That's all I can say. Dear God almighty.
Get yourself that dictionary, Karen. Mansion. A place where jobless, unemployed people live at the expense of the taxpayer. A mansion. Oh, I've seen loads of lovely mansions. Have you seen anywhere? I've seen some around Liverpool and those estates. Loads and loads of mansions all built on top of each other.
I have to say, I never thought I'd find myself saying this, but I sort of agree with Henning a little bit. Yeah, because I was unemployed for ages and it was endlessly depressing, although I found doing the crossword helped quite a lot. Doing the crossword in my pyjamas until 3 o'clock in the afternoon and then going, oh, I should probably get up and do something now. And also avoiding going to the job centre, because that is the single most depressing place in the world. So if you just avoid going in there, you know, all right, you don't get a job, but you don't have to go for all the crappy jobs that they send you for anyway.
Like prostitution.
Like prostitution.
Yeah.
Because you can do that anyway without going through, cut out the middleman.
Yes, exactly.
Just go and stand on a street corner and say, I'll bring you off for a £5.
I'll bring you off for a £5. That'll be the title of your autobiography. I love that.
And you've not got a good agent. You need someone to negotiate a proper fee for you. You can be getting up to £20. That's
You look like an old-fashioned Victorian pimp. Maybe we can get some business going here.
Yeah.
There's got to be something you can get Ruth 20 quid a go. You take 10% of that, that's 2 quid. She tosses off 200 men. Hang on a minute. You're going to get...
400.
You'll be... 400.
Sex maths.
You'll be quids in sex maths. That's what they should be teaching at school. Sex maths.
That'd get kids interested.
Yeah.
If I shag 20 women and get them pregnant, how many babies will I have?
None, because you're a Jaffa.
Or one of those things where it says...
They do those tests, I think, at school. The school now. That's what the nurse tests for.
Yeah, they could have those
it's not gonna
things
work.
like...
Instead of the knit nurse and not nurse.
You could have those things at school, like when it says, if it takes 5 prostitutes 6 minutes to finish off 7 clients, how long will it take 2.5 prostitutes to finish off 8 clients, given that they are working at twice the speed? Show you're working.
I'm weeping joys of laughter. Now, if you're worried that Britain is going to follow Germany's lead, here's our countdown of questions you should ask if you think your job centre is being turned into a brothel. In at number 5, is the punishment for not attending an interview to be spit roasted by 2 restart officers? At number 4, do the staff look slightly less jaded and despondent now they've turned to prostitution? At number 3, have they started putting job vacancy cards in local phone booths? At number 2, did your advisor mean something entirely different when she said she'd fit you in the next available slot? And the number 1 question to ask yourself if you think your job centre is becoming a brothel is, when you mention you've got A levels, are you rushed into the back room and told your new name is Tiffany? Now, according to a new survey, a quarter of teenage boys would consider getting plastic surgery to look more like their favourite celebrities. Teenage fans of David Beckham and Brad Pitt are willing to spend thousands of pounds to look like their heroes. Of course, it's cheaper for Michael Jackson fans. They just douse themselves in bleach and press their faces into blenders. Nice. So, my frequently asked question is, are boys more vain than girls?
I present you Paul Foot, and that's it. Look at the state of that. No girl will bother spending that. No, and I mean it kindly. He needs to be told. It's like the smelly kid at school. Someone should tell him he smells. But I'm just saying, Paul is an example of male vanity at its most hideous.
Do you think you're vain? I suppose you probably wouldn't if you are.
I have no answer to give to any more questions.
Oh,
no, I
no.
have. No, I'm not. What was the question?
Do you think boys are more vain than girls these days?
Yeah, I think they are, because boys worry about the size of their willies. Yeah, they do. Whereas you don't get that. You don't get that with women. You don't get a woman saying, "Oh dear, my vagina's not quite big enough." You know, maybe at the back of the classroom, just sneakily just measuring it. You know. Just quickly getting a set square out.
You're implying that boys therefore measure their cocks in school. I don't remember doing that. No, we never. Come on, lads, let's get our penises out and let's just compare how big it is. Although saying that, actually, I've just remembered. I remembered one kid had a penis the size of a peanut. He did. But I won't say his name, so don't embarrass him.
Oh, don't. That's awful. It might be bigger now.
It won't be. It was very, very small. And boys being boys. Because he had a tiny penis, what do? We beat him up. That's what we did. I'm ashamed of it. I'm ashamed of it. I'm sorry.
Henning, do you think that boys are more vain than girls?
If they're sissies. But, that's the way it is, isn't it?
Now, I've got to admit, I've got a problem and it's out of control. I can't stop myself buying brandy, buying whiskey, vodka, tequila, Bacardi. I've got to face facts. I'm a shopaholic. And I'm not alone. According to the Daily Mirror, people who can't stop shopping and find it impossible to save money simply can't help themselves. Some 4.2 million people cannot save because their personalities will not let them. So, my frequently asked question is, what can't you resist buying? Is there anything you can't resist buying, Paul?
Food and clothing. I just can't stop it. I mean, every day I have something to eat. I wear something. It's just irresistible.
Henning?
I can't resist the full English breakfast at Maggie's Cafe in Lewisham.
With the tomato in the middle.
Free breakfast for...
So, now, what you get there is, I mean, how it works is you get... she comes up, there's a menu drawn up, so with ingredients for the full English breakfast.
I know how a greasy spoon works, Henning. We've had that here for a long time.
No. So, no. So, as the German, I mean, talking in food terms, we have got the German saying, so if the cake is talking, the crumbs stay silent. So...
you have talking cakes in Germany?
I've got there that list in front of me, and they've got it on all. Bacon, sausages, liver, black pudding,
Padding.
Can the crumbs chip in here?
hash browns, chips, peas, toast, tomato, mushrooms, onions. So basically, fried egg. So all the things, liver. All the things of a fried breakfast, and then you can tell Maggie which ingredients you want to see on your full English breakfast plate. So and that all comes with a cup of tea. Perfect.
Brilliant. Thank you. I'm Karen Taylor. I'm here with my guests Ruth, Brat, Paul Foot, Iain, Lee and Henning Wehn. Yeah! Now, booze news. More than 30,000 pubs and bars across Britain are putting an end to cheap happy hour drinks. They want to get rid of the boozy, binge drinking element of British culture. Here they are, binging away.
Look at her knock back this pint. She's beaten him.
Brilliant.
I just like they all look really happy.
They're having a nice time. Leave
Yeah,
them
it doesn't
alone.
get nasty at all after a few pints. And
This
these
looks
are so
like
drunk they've turned a little bit gay. As we all do.
This
We
just
all
looks
do.
like fun.
They've gone really gay. Oh, they kissed
It's
and
like you've been
everything.
framed, isn't it? Incredible.
Oh, don't watch
Not the
them being
vomit.
No, this is good.
No.
This is excellent. It is like you've been framed. Look. And cut to Lisa Riley. There she is.
wanker. I'm not meant to swear tonight, sorry. But come on, Friday night isn't complete without puke on your shoes, a glass in your face, and 3 types of spunk on your tights.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but that's what makes Britain great.
What do you mean?
That and oven chips. So, my frequently asked question is, should we be clamping down on the crazy binge drinking? Ruth?
Yeah, clamp down on it. Don't let people do it. When I get drunk, I do silly things like text people I shouldn't text. And if they could take away my... Oh, maybe if they could take away my phone when I was drunk, that would be OK. But when they keep... You know, if you've got your phone on you, you go, oh, I think it'll be fine to text him now. It'll be fine. They'll think it's funny. And then in the morning you read it and you go, oh, God. And then they don't think it's funny and they don't text back and you feel like a loser.
Karen, I'm still reeling from what you said about having 3 different types of semen on your... What do you mean 3 different types? You know, you mean 3 different people?
Animal,
Yes.
vegetable
I
and
mean,
mint.
types. Do you have different types, like, posh semen? Or, this here, I don't like this one, this is...
Depends on the night, really.
They make this big thing, don't they? The binge drinking is it's binge drinking, it's binge drinking, binge oh, look out, binge drinking. Binge drinking's coming, we've got it, it's too late, it's there. It's only the Daily Mail that thinks binge drinking is real. I used to binge drink when I was, when I was a kid, when I was 14, 15, 16. I'd be down in the park with a bottle of Thunderbird. You know, my mates would be, Thunderbird, that's a rank drink.
Mad Dog 2020.
Mad Dog, and not hooch, I'm not that young. But they would, and cider and all that stuff like that, and it would be, cane as many as you can before your mum comes and beats the crap out of you. So, the binge drinking thing isn't the new phenomenon that the right-wing fascist press will have us believe in.
Absolutely, Iain, I agree.
Yeah.
Henning, do you binge drink often?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair to say. I think the binge drinking or not, I think that's none of government's business, is it? What do they know? About a job, you're under so much pressure and you have to cope somehow with the pressure, haven't you?
Yeah.
So, and then you down a few. So, and then it even goes to the level that they say, women shouldn't be allowed to drink strong drinks anymore.
Who says that?
The government.
Right.
They've got some proposals there. So, and I think even that is completely wrong. Yes. So, because, how much, for example, women drink should be entirely up to her husband.
Yes.
We all love a drink, but here's our countdown of questions to ask yourself if you think you might be overdoing the booze. In at number 5, does your diary read, Monday, start binge, followed by a lot of pages covered in sick? At number 4, is George Best breaking in your next liver? At number 3, does your piss have a head on it?
Oh, no. That's unpleasant.
I like that one. At number 2, when you cry a sad, boozy tear, do you drop in a coffee bean, set fire to it and drink it down like Sambuca? And the number 1 question to ask yourself if you think you're drinking too much is, have you ever phoned in sick with a hangover only to be told you haven't worked there for 2 years? Now, the actor Hayden Christensen, who plays Darth Vader in the latest Star Wars movie, has threatened to turn away from the dark side and quit acting to become an architect. I don't find Hollywood interesting. Said the man who got millions of dollars to flounce around a film set with Natalie Portman. What a ball ache. My frequently asked question is, what is the best job in the world?
The best job in the world, I think, would be a crazy golf course owner. It's so easy, isn't it? I mean, all you have to do is set up a few holes with a few windmills and that, and a couple of unusual slopes. And then you just...
What's an unusual slope? What's your definition of a slope? That's unusual. That's unlike any other slope I've ever seen in my life.
Well, it would just be like a slope that would be slightly something a bit different to what you'd expect. Oh, it seems like quite a simple hole here. I think I'll just knock it straight to the hole. Oh, but it slopes unusually.
You've still not defined an unusual sloping, though. You've just put a slope in.
I'm showing you what an unusual slope is through the use of a role play.
Sorry, please.
Do carry on, Paul.
Well, you set up 9 of those holes with the unusual slopes that everyone knows, understand. I mean, anyone who would run a crazy golf course would know what an unusual slope is.
Would.
Anyone who's ever played on one. In fact, anyone who is a member of the human race who is not set against me, Paul Foot, and constantly sniping, trying to destroy me. But anyway, the point I'm making is you've got 9 holes, you set them up, and then basically you just have to sit there in your booth and just rake in the money. I mean, just, you know, it doesn't take long for it to mount up as well, about 45p each time. It soon mounts up in just a few sunny days, and that's all they need.
Henning, what would be the best job?
England manager. You don't need to deliver anything, still get paid 4 million quid a year.
Oh, there's going to be fights tonight. I can feel it. It's all going to kick off on fuck you.
Sort of another job that would be really easy.
Brilliant, go on.
International horse consultant. Basically, you're an expert on horses, and then people ring up and say, oh, what do you think of this horse? You just do a look at it on the internet, and you say, oh, yeah, I reckon that's a Shire horse. Or you might say, oh, yeah, another horse, you might say, oh, that horse, I reckon it's got a slight problem with its front hoof, but it will heal. Basically, you're a horse expert, you know about horses, and then you just sit there making money, just do it all on the internet, wouldn't you?
Brilliant.
A horse expert. I mean, there's nothing, you don't even have to leave your house.
You're saying that's the easiest job in the world. That's not the best job in the world, though, is it? Looking up horse facts on the internet and relaying them down the phone to punters. And you've not explained how you'd make any money either.
Well, you charge people for the queries, you know. You charge £100, say, for a horse query. Another one. What about bamboo shoot supplier? That's an easy job because basically you only supply it to Chinese takeaways. All you have to do is answer the phone. Oh, hello, bamboo shoot supplier here. What service do you require? Yeah, bamboo shoots. All right. Fine. And who's calling? Right, local Chinese takeaway. Yeah, fine. And then you just do it, and you've got to obviously go into the depot and you different ones and put them on the consignment. But it's a pretty easy job.
Yeah, that's a lot of best jobs you've got there.
Yeah.
I've always thought that being one of those people, and I know you don't get paid much for it, but you know where you just stand there with a sign saying noodles this way?
Yes.
Because then you can just read and think about things, and you don't have to do anything, you just have to stand there.
But it's not a good job. A lot of those people are failed bamboo shoot suppliers who've been forced into it through bitterness, you know, because often it can get a bit boring, that's the only trouble with it, because you're constantly on that phone, you know. Oh, hello, another call, what's it? Oh, the bamboo shoots, yeah, right, yeah, fine, yeah, send them over, yeah.
But then you're making it sound like it's not the best, it's one of the worst jobs in the world. It's repetitive, monotonous, you're only supplying to Chinese restaurants, you're not seeing many different restaurants. It doesn't sound like the best job in the world to me, Paul.
It's absolutely horrendous, one of the worst.
You're just trying to sell it to yourself. I'd quit that job if I were you.
I'm changing my mind constantly, the sands are constantly shifting.
A shift sand, a sand shifter
A sand
would be a
shifter.
good... A sand shitter. A sand shifter would be a good job, wouldn't it? That's God's job.
Yes. Now, in South Korea, a restaurant is set to reopen after it was trampled by rampaging elephants. Here's what's happened.
Oh, look at that bugger go! Look at those rather gay Korean cowboys following it with sort of paisley shirts, the big gay hats. What are they going to do? How do you get an elephant out of a restaurant?
So my frequently asked question is, are animals taking over the world, Henning?
I'm not 100% sure. But just in case, I would suggest we kill some of them.
Right. Any in particular?
So that it isn't that much of a fuss to get hold of them. So let's just get to the ones we already hold hostage in the zoo.
Okay.
And go to Bristol Zoo, slaughter them, and then distribute them around the world, just to show the animals. Watch it.
Yeah. Paul, are there any animals you'd like to make extinct?
No, I'd quite like to make the dodo extinct.
Who is he?
The dodo is an animal that died many years ago. And that would mean, if I was making him extinct, it would mean that I had travelled back in time. It's my ambition to go into a time machine. In fact, actually, I have. In fact, I actually was the person who shot the last dodo, and then I travelled forward in time. I'm actually a time traveller.
Hence the hat.
Yeah, don't worry,
That's
you
why I
move
put the
on
hat.
then, in the future or the past, but away from here.
What a
Tell
nice
Paul
man.
to fuck off through time. Wow. This I gotta see.
I've never been asked that
very.
before. I mean, I've had a few gigs in Swindon or something where it's been going pretty badly. People said taxi and all that, but I've never heard people say time machine.